I'm just eating this up. Look at all of my tabs so far. This is so sweet. It's so cute. Oh, it's so cute. Hi guys, welcome to today's video. So in this video I'm going to be reading from my physical TBR. You can only see like a quarter of my TBR right now. I've actually forgotten how many books I have. I'll put it on screen if I can be bothered to count. But I did one of these reading vlogs I think a few months ago and you guys really liked it. I think it's my most viewed reading vlog, so I thought I'd do another one. It's also so fun to do. I can make my TBR smaller and also read some books I've been wanting to read for a while and basically mood read like all these books I want to read. So that's basically it. I'm just going to be reading from my physical TBR in this reading vlog. So let's talk about the books I want to read. These are all on my July TBR and I picked out these books because I knew I wanted to read them in this video, and we have 5 books, which is a lot. I don't typically read that many books in my reading vlogs, but I'm going to try to get to most of them. If I don't, that's okay. I'm just going to quickly go through them, and then once I'm actually like reading a book, I'll talk about it more. So we have Kingdom of the Cursed by Kerri Maniscalco. This is the second book in the Kingdom of the Wicked series. It's a fantasy romance series. We have Anatomy by Snana Schmartz. It is, I think, a romance murder mystery. We have Mountains Made of Glass by Scarlett St. Clair. This is another fantasy romance. It's also a fairy tale retelling and it's also really short and I really want to read this one. Then we have a classic. This is Perfume by Patrick Susskind. I haven't read a classic this year and one of my goals was to read 3 classics this year, and I'm obviously not doing well in regards to that goal. And it's just been a really long time since I've read a classic, maybe even a year at this point. So I want to pick them back up, but I just find it's hard to incorporate them into videos since I'm trying to read quicker books and classics take me longer to read. So I'm going to try and read this throughout this reading vlog and while I'm reading other books, and hopefully I can get through it. And then we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I'm actually buddy reading this book with a friend, Cans. She has a bookstagram and you should go follow her. She has the most stunning posts. Like all of her posts are so cute. But we are buddy reading this, so I'm definitely reading this in this reading vlog. And this has been on my TBR for a really long time. It's one of the first books I got when I got back into reading, and I've been really scared to read it, but now I have someone to read it with, so I'm really excited. But the book I'm gonna start with is Kingdom of the Cursed. I've been so excited to read this book because I really loved the first book. I gave it a 4.75 and I had really like high expectations for that book. I just felt like I was gonna like it. I've seen mixed reviews about this series, but I just knew I was gonna like it, and I did. I ate it up, and I've been so excited to read the next book in the series. I read the first book maybe a month or 2 ago, and I meant to read this in June, but I never got to it, and I was so excited to pick it up. I'm also nervous because what if I don't like it as much as the first book, but we're just gonna have a fun time. I'm so excited. This is also gonna be a new adult. The first book was YA, so I'm excited to see what happens. I don't know. Is it gonna be, I don't know. I feel like the writing style will be the same, but I don't know. And I have no idea what's going to happen in this book, so I'm really excited for it. So we're going to start with this book. I will update you guys once I get further into it. There will also be no spoilers. I'm not going to say anything about this book in particular because I don't want to spoil anything, but we are following a witch and a prince of hell. They're like working together on this mystery surrounding, I think her name was Amelia, her sister. They're working together and it was just really good. I loved the first book, and I was also obsessed with Wrath, the Prince of Hell. He was everything. So I'm really excited to read this book. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, let me know. Also, if you like my videos, please consider subscribing. It really helps my channel. And yeah, there's nothing else to say. Let's just get into this book. It is, I think it's kind of late in the afternoon. I got like 3 or 4 hours of sleep last night, so I'm not feeling the best, but I definitely want to get some reading done. I haven't read anything the past 2 days, so we need to get some reading done. And I'm just really excited to start this book, and also a little nervous, but that's okay. We're just gonna get into it. I'm just gonna pick it up and I'm just gonna read it instead of putting it off. I also have some reading journaling to do, so I will show you guys that as well. But yeah, let's just get right into it.
Cause baby, like, ooh, it's all another flower lay. The sun goes around the state. Can't wait for the long day. Cause baby, like, ooh, it's all another flower lay. The sun goes around the state. Can't wait for the long day. In the sun when I found you, the one you call. You got what I need, and you always be turning my sky blue. But maybe I can't get to you, so why don't you come to stay? Cause baby, like, ooh, it's all another flower lay. The sun goes around the state. Can't wait for the long day. Cause baby, like, ooh, it's all another flower lay. The sun goes around the state. Can't wait for the long day. Go and open the door. And I've been waiting so long. The time for you has come. I want you show. The rain has been around for way too long. Cause baby, like, ooh, cause baby, like, cause baby, like, ooh, it's all another flower lay. The sun goes around the state. Can't wait for the long day. Cause baby, like, ooh, it's all another flower lay. The sun goes around the state. Can't wait for the long day.
I don't understand how anyone can not like this series. This is so sweet. Hi guys, so before we get into the book updates, I want to talk about this sweater I have. My grandma knitted me this sweater and I'm obsessed with it. I have this blanket that's always in my videos and my Instagram photos, and I love it. I love the colors, I love how it looks, and she made it for me. And so I asked her to knit me a sweater in like similar colors, and she did, and it's so cute and I love it. I love the colors. I feel like the colors are so me. So yeah, I just wanted to show that off, and I think she watches my YouTube videos. So hi Nana, if you're watching, I love the sweater so much, it's so cute. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about it because it's so cute. I love it. Anyways, let's get on to the book updates. Where is my book? Oh, so I'm on page 115 and I've been reading it pretty slowly. I feel like it's taken me a little while to get back into it. There's stuff I don't really remember very well, and I've had to like go through the first book to try and pick up my memory. And I feel like when it comes to like sequels in like a fantasy series, or just when I'm continuing a fantasy series and it's been a while since I read the last book, it takes me a little while to get back into it. But now I feel like I'm really into it, and oh my god, there's there's been It's so many good scenes already, and I'm just eating this up. Look at all of my tabs so far. That's literally just like romantic moments, I guess. And some of them are such little things, like teensy little things, but literally everything has me like giggling and swooning. This is so good. I have to be very careful with the way I say things because I don't want to spoil anything, but I don't feel like it's been over the top or repetitive or too much. I feel like it's been just a hint of romance, and some parts are bigger than others. I'm just loving every little thing. I'm a little confused with some of the stuff going on. I felt the same with the first book. I'm like, it's a little hard for me to pick up on some of the things that are happening, but by the end of the first book I understood everything, and so I'm hoping that happens here. But I'm just really enjoying this so far, and I'm hoping to read a lot more today. I wanted to finish it today, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm gonna try and finish it tomorrow maybe, but I want to get a lot of reading done today. But actually, I'm going to a concert on Wednesday. I'm going to see TV Girl, which they're not like my favorite band or anything, but I do really like their music, and their show was sold out, but they added another show, and so I was like, yeah, okay, I'll go. And this was like a week ago, not even, like under a week ago, so this is very late notice, and I decided to crochet us matching outfits. So I have made a pink shrug for me, and I'm making a blue one for her because the TV Girl band colors are like pink and blue, and so we're gonna go with matching outfits. I'm gonna be all pink, she's gonna be all blue, and I'm actually filming a video about making these, a like crochet vlog, and I'm gonna post it on my other YouTube channel, which I did make another YouTube channel a little while ago, but I hadn't really posted anything on it aside from like shorts and stuff. But I made it for like art related stuff or crochet or like crafty stuff like that, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna ever post on it. I don't know, it's something I want to do, but I didn't know when I was gonna do it because I'm more focused on this channel. But I thought I might as well like document process of me making these, and hopefully I post it. I don't know when I'm gonna edit it and post it, I don't know, but if you want to check that out, I will link the channel down below. The username is made by Maddie, or made by Maddie Wilkie. Yeah, that's just a little something I'm doing, and I'm really excited for the concert and to wear these. I think it'll be so cute. I think it's actually gonna be really cold, but that's okay. But yeah, I don't really have a lot of updates because like I said, I can't say a lot about what's going on in the book, but I said this when I was reading the first book. It's really reminding me of those feelings I used to get in fantasy books that I don't really get anymore, like with the Cruel Prince series with Akatar. I feel like those are the main two. I got these just like, I don't know how to describe the feelings, but it feels kind of like nostalgic. Like it takes me back to when I first got into fantasy and everything was exciting, and I feel like I don't really know a lot about this series and what's going to happen, which also makes it more exciting since I don't know a lot about the books, I guess. Like I know the main premise, but I have no idea what's going to happen in this book. I have no idea what's going to happen in the next book, and I like that. It feels more exciting, and I'm just overall really enjoying the book so far, and I love the characters so much. I'll update you guys once I get more into it, but yeah, all positive updates so far. I feel great. Jinxie. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, baby. Jinxie. Jinx. What's this? Okay. Bye. Hi guys, this is unrelated to reading, but I'm going to the concert I was talking about, and I finished the matching shrugs I was talking about, and I wanted to show you guys. That's all. Okay. Toodaloo. Hi guys, so I'm actually starting TAFE today, which if you're not from Australia, TAFE is like college kind of. It's like community college. We have university, but TAFE is like lower, I guess. You don't need like requirements, or your grades don't matter for a lot of courses. So I am starting TAFE today. I'm doing childcare. I'm very nervous. I haven't done like anything school related in a while, but I thought I'd give you guys my book updates before I leave. So I finished Kingdom of the Cursed last night. This took me so long to read. I think like 7-8 days. I'm not completely sure why. I think this book was just slower for me to read, and I was very confused through a lot of it, which our film main character Amelia was also confused. Like there's a lot of mystery going on, but I feel like there were so many little details I had to remember, and I kept forgetting things, and there were so many different like loose ends, and when she'd think she knew what was going on, it turned out it was something else. Like I just felt very confused. All of the main stuff I kind of picked up on, like some of the main things that were revealed I kind of guessed, and that made me feel better because I was able to guess what was going to happen. It's kind of a little bit, but I felt very confused, I guess, throughout this book, and that kind of lowered my rating. I gave it a 4.25. I still really loved the romance, and I really want to read the last book in this series and complete it. This ended on like quite a cliffhanger. There's like an excerpt from the start of the next book in here, and I started reading that, but then things just like went even more like off track, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wait until I pick up the actual next book. I don't have a lot to say because I don't want to spoil anything, but I did really enjoy it, and I 100% recommend this series. It was also like a little bit more adult than the first one, and I don't know, I just really like our characters. I really like Wrath, which I've said multiple times, and the mystery is interesting, although it's confusing. I feel like the last book will definitely tie everything together, but there were parts where I had to reread and trying to figure out what was going on, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. So I am supposed to start Addie LaRue next. Well, the past few days I've been trying to finish this book and start Addie LaRue so I could read it with my friend, and I was even going to just put down Kingdom of the Curse so I could start Addie LaRue since it was taking me so long to read that book. But we both decided we're not going to read Addie LaRue because she is having a hard time picking it up, and I'm not really in the mood for it. It's just such an intimidating book that we decided we're going to read something else. So we are going to read Consider Me by Becca Mack. I'm so excited. This book has been on my TBR for such a long time, and I'm so intrigued to see if I like it. I have the other books in the series as well. I think it's a college romance. Actually, maybe it's not. He's a professional NHL player, so I just made college up. Okay, so it's a hockey romance. That's all I really know. Yeah, but I'm trying to keep this update really short because I do have to go soon, but I'll update you guys once I get more into it. I'm sorry I'm not reading Addie LaRue. I know some of you guys wanted me to read it, but I will read it at some point. And this will be a lot easier for me to travel with since Addie LaRue, my copy is such a brick, so I can definitely get through this. This is also quite a longer book. I think it's maybe 500 pages, 460. Which, as you guys know, I am not a big fan of long romances, but fingers crossed I like this. I'm not going to go in with any high expectations, but I am excited to finally get into this series. So yeah, I'll update you guys soon once I've gotten into this book. Hi guys, I started Consider Me last night, and when I tell you this man is so gross and annoying, so far I really don't like him. We start the book off and he's hooked up with this girl, and he's just so rude to her. He's just being a douche, and he's in a monologue. He's like, oh, girls just always want to be with me. Like, I think he's like the captain or something of his hockey team. I don't know, he's well known. He's like, oh, all these girls just want to be with me. And I'm like, okay. And then he goes to his best friend's girlfriend's party, and he checks out his best friend's girlfriend's ass. I'm like, you're disgusting. Like, ew, that's just gross. And then she tells him, do not try to hook up with my best friend Olivia, who is the love interest in this book, the film main character. And he's like, I won't, I'm not interested in that tonight. Like, I wouldn't, don't worry about me. And then he proceeds to then try to hook up with her, and she rejects him, and he is like so shocked that anyone would ever want to reject him. And I'm like, I really don't like you. I really don't like you so far. The first 3 chapters were in his point of view, and I'm just like, can we get out of this man's head? I really don't like him so far. I'm on page 20, and my friend is like halfway through the book, and she said he does have some character development. I'm like, he better have character development, because so far I really don't like this man. He's just so cocky and gross and annoying. So this man better develop. his character. If not, I'm gonna have some problems. But she is halfway through the book. Well, she's most likely even further now. She reads a lot faster than me, and I have been slacking in reading today. I don't have TAFE, but I spent most of the day sleeping because I'm just really tired. And I thought I was going to read a lot today, and that didn't happen. So now I'm going to spend the rest of the day just trying to read a lot and trying to catch up. And also this video I was meant to finish a little while ago, and that didn't happen. So I'm trying to read some more. I'm now going to start chapter 4, which is in the point of view of Olivia. So I'm intrigued to see if I like her. Hopefully I do, because so far I do not like Carter. Olivia just called Carter the face of chlamydia, and I approve. Hi guys, I come bearing news. It's not particularly bad or good. I have decided to DNF Consider Me. I got to page 100 when I decided I just don't want to read this book. Mainly, I didn't like Carter's character. He did grow on me a little, but I was just so bored reading this book. I felt like there was no plot whatsoever. I felt like I hardly knew anything about the characters. It was just solely focused on the like physical relationship, which they didn't even like hook up or anything yet, but it felt like they were solely focused on that, especially Carter. And I know that's like part of his character, but this whole book so far, the first 100 pages, was just Carter trying to get closer to Olivia so they could hook up or I don't know what. And I was just so bored. Kind of reminded me of Icebreaker. I think I DNF'd that book on page 120, and there was already like so much spice in that book, and I felt like there was no plot. And I feel the same with this book. Like I didn't even get to any spice, but I just was so bored. And my friend finished the book and she felt very similar to me. She also wasn't enjoying it. She gave it a 2.5, and we just felt like it was such a boring book, and she said that it mainly focused on like the physical stuff. So yeah, I just don't want to spend my time reading this, especially since it's also such a long book. It is over 400 pages, and I don't want to read 400 pages of a book I'm not enjoying. It also felt very insta-love. Olivia was also like thinking about how she could fall for Carter, and I'm like, you hardly know this man. We are 100 pages in. This is 20% of the whole book, and you're already like thinking about that. I don't know. And straight away Carter was obsessed with her and would not stop trying to go after her, and it was just so insta love, especially for a book this long. We need a slow burn, okay? So yeah, I decided to DNF it. I'm a little upset because this is such a popular book and I really thought I was gonna like it. I'm glad I did read it with my friend though. That way I do feel better since she also didn't like it. If she like loved it and I didn't like it, I would have felt so bad. But we both just didn't like it. And I do have another book in the series, Unravel Me, which I think is the third book. And I'm gonna get rid of this book as well. I was looking at reviews for the second book and this book, and it just was saying all the same things. Like apparently this book is also very instant love. I saw like a really bad review for the second book, and it's just, yeah, I don't think this author maybe is for me. I was also not a fan of like the writing style. There's so many weird lines, just so many bizarre lines in the book that it just wasn't for me. And it's unfortunate because the covers are so pretty. Like, they're so gorgeous, but I will be getting rid of these. If I had finished this book, maybe I would have kept it, but there's no point in me owning these even though the covers are so pretty, but someone else can have them. Which I was so annoyed because I took Consider Me to school and I was waiting for the bus. Like I just left the house, I'm waiting for the bus. I read a few pages of the book and I was like, no, I'm DNFing this. And then I had to spend the whole day carrying around that big ass book. So I was very annoyed about that. I did start reading another book. I started Mountains Made of Glass. So this is by Scarlett St. Clair, and this is a fantasy book. It's also only 200 pages, which I've never read a fantasy book that short, I think. Typically fantasy books are like some of the longer books I read, but this is a fairy tale retelling. And I saw this at the bookstore and I hadn't heard anyone talk about it, but it really intrigued me. I read the back and it just sounded interesting. And also since it was so short, it was also on sale. So I was like, why not pick it up? And I've been really wanting to read it. I love fairy tales, so a fairy tale retelling sounds right up my alley. It is also like a romance, and there's also gorgeous art inside. I'll show you some of them on the first page, and there's more art throughout, but I'm on page 18. I'm not going to really say anything yet because I don't think I'm really into the story yet. It's kind of just started, but so far we've gotten little snippets of fairy tales. I think we got a little snippet of like Princess and the Frog retelling, and I think we're going to get a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I'll explain more once I get more into it, but I love that we're getting a mix of different fairy tales. Also, I love Princess and the Frog. I love Beauty and the Beast, so I'm very intrigued. I'm also really liking the writing style, and it said at the front that this author wrote the Hades and Persephone series, A Touch of Darkness, A Touch of Ruin, and A Touch of Malice, which I have heard of that series. So I'm intrigued to read those maybe after I read this, but I think there's more books in this series. I'm not sure how many. I don't know if they're interconnected or if you have to read them in order. I'm going to continue this today, and then I'm also going to start Perfume at some point. Maybe today, once I get further into this book. I know I said I was going to try and read this throughout the whole video, but that didn't happen. I think once I get more into this book, I'm going to start on Perfume as well. And they're both like small books, which is great because then I can take them to school with me. I'll update you guys once I've gotten more into these books. Hi guys, so I have finished Mountains Made of Glass, so let's get into my thoughts. Well, basically, like I said earlier, this book has a big mix of different fairy tales. I feel like the main fairy tale is Beauty and the Beast, but there is like a mixture of them, which I really like. There's something so special about Disney princess stories and the movies specifically. I would love to read the books one day, but they just hold a special place in my heart, and so it's so nice to read a book that has those elements in it. And there are a lot of fantasy books that are like loosely based off fairy tales, but I haven't read one where it really like screamed out to me. Like, I think ACOTAR is based on Beauty and the Beast, but like not really. I don't know. Like, there are aspects, but it wasn't that strongly based on Beauty and the Beast, I feel like. And so just reading a book with the different fairy tales that I grew up loving was fun, and it made this book feel a bit magical. In this book, We follow Jessela, who is imprisoned by one of the Fae princes. There are 7 Fae princes. 1 has died, so there's 6 left. But they also say that like Fae don't really die, so I guess there's still 7. I'm not completely sure. But she is imprisoned by him, and he's referred to as a beast. So that's where like the Beauty and the Beast aspect comes in, and he has been cursed to forget his name in 10 years. And at this time, it's been, I think, 9 years and 3 weeks. So he has, wait, that's not right. That makes no sense. But I think at this time that we're reading it, he has 1 more week left. And so to break this curse, someone needs to fall in love with him and speak his true name, which no one knows his true name. Well, I guess some people do, but it's very closely guarded, and it's only really spoken by a lover in like the Fae world. And Jessela and this prince start off hating each other. Obviously, she's been kept a prisoner, and she needs to fall in love with him in a week, basically, which I don't really like that aspect because that's such a short amount of time. It feels very unrealistic, especially since they started off hating each other, which I know it's like a fairy tale, so it's not supposed to be realistic, but at least give us a month, you know? You could skip some time, but we were seeing, oh my god, there's so much noise going on. Everyone in my family decided to come home at the same time, and the dogs next door decided to also bark. So yeah, I don't really like that aspect. It is like a short book, but we could have literally like skipped some time, and we do see like every single day during this week. There was also so much spice, and it felt a little repetitive. So I didn't overall love the book. I did like the like fairy tale aspects. I wish there was a bigger focus on it. I feel like at the start there was, but then it kind of drifted off a bit. And I think this is supposed to be more of like a darker fantasy romance, because I was looking at the other books this author does, and I think that's what kind of the theme was. It wasn't really that dark, but there were aspects of that. I believe there are other books for the other Fae princes, and so I think I will continue the series because I'm intrigued for one of them, which I think might be the second one. I should have checked this, but there is one prince, Law. They said he's in love with a mortal that doesn't even know him, and so I'm intrigued for that book, and I definitely want to give it a go. So I will likely continue the series. They're also such like short books that they're just easy fun reads. I drew on a page. I don't know if I should show you guys because I don't know if it's actually good or not. I'm gonna show you guys. I do like a garden. I'm gonna post it on my Instagram, but I want to do more drawings in my books. And like I mentioned earlier, my friend Cans, who has a bookstagram, always like does drawings in her books and always does the cutest annotations, and I was very much inspired by her. So I wanted to do a pretty drawing since it's a we're in like this garden. The prince's castle is like an overgrown garden, and so I wanted to draw that. Those are really all my thoughts. I haven't really thought about my rating. I think maybe a 3.5. Even if I really enjoyed this book, it's such a short book that it can't really get a very high rating. Well, I guess it could if I loved it, but I have like 3.5 star feelings, and I did read it very quickly, but it's also such a short book. But sometimes I have really short books that take me a long time to read, so it was just a quick and easy read. But I did expect a lot more from this book. I had kind of high expectations, even though I didn't really know anything about it, but it was enjoyable. And then I did start Perfume. I only read a few pages, but this is a classic, and it's about a murderer, I think, that has a really strong sense of smell. This book has like, I think, has really strong descriptions of smell and stuff, and I think it's supposed to be like disturbing but also intriguing and interesting. And I've just heard so many good things about this book. I've also heard it's an easier classic to read, and I actually looked up when it came out, when it was published, and it was published in 1985, which I feel like is so recent. I expected it to be published in like the 1800s. And so that really surprised me. And the writing style is still like older. And I'm like, was writing really that different like 40 years ago? Or is it just the style of this author? I don't know. I guess it was. Anyways, I did read a few pages, and we start off with some really gross descriptions of smell. This book starts off by saying this happened a long time ago, and so we're kind of talking about something that happened in the past, and it's saying how places and stuff used to smell so much worse, and the descriptions are really grossing me out, and I should have expected that. There's just so many gross descriptions that I'm just like cringing, but I am also intrigued. I don't know, reading about a murderer doesn't really seem up my alley, but so many book girlies love this book, and there's just something about it that really intrigues me. I'm definitely going to continue reading this while I read other books, but I am going to finish this video here. So I read 3 books, I DNF'd 1, and I started another. That's not too bad. I also was supposed to read anatomy in this video, and I did not realize that until I was editing today, and I was like, oh, that book was also on my TBR, and I completely forgot. But that's okay, I'll get to it at another point. But also, I quickly wanted to say that before I end this video, someone that watches my videos posted about my channel on their Instagram story, and it was so sweet. Like, it literally warmed my heart. It was so sweet. So if you're watching, thank you so much. It really made my day. Any nice comments I get from you guys really makes me feel so happy. Like, I feel so special, so thank you. But yeah, that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you've read any of these books, let me know, and let me know your thoughts. I have a book Instagram that I post on quite frequently, and I have a lot more updates about what I'm reading and other things going on in my life, mostly book related stuff. So if you want to see more from me, you can check out my Instagram. I also have a book TikTok I post a lot on. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And that's all. Bye.